Jennifer, thanks for joining me. Impromptu session. I just literally messaged Jennifer and said, hey, I'm about to do a case study in your account. Everybody wants to know 19 deals, 19 months. You know, I think a lot of people are struggling just to get the first conversation. Jennifer, conversation. I'm not talking about anything but a conversation. So I kind of wanted to take this as an opportunity for a lot of the newbies who are kind of just discovering StreetText, and obviously the veterans too, and people that have been with us for a long time and getting frustrated. And you were just there. You hit that wall. Katrina Higgins just hit that wall, and we laughed about it together because I'm like, Katrina, you've been with us for 7 months and you've done 11 deals, and you're like, the post that you put in the insider group is funny to me because if you take it out of context, everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I agree, me too. And then everybody's like, oh, and you've done 11 deals.
Yes.
So I wanted to give an opportunity just to kind of share what your experience has been in 19 months and what you've kind of had to actually go through yourself, you know, in both the learning process and humility and learning the program and figuring out like what works, what doesn't work, what you need to change, how you looked at the automations initially, even the way you approached the how-tos of StreetText and kind of what you've done and learned to make it your own. So
yeah,
you take it away, and I'll kind of reiterate, you know, I'm going to share my screen. Here's Jenifer Salter, 19 deals in 19 months for anybody that's kind of tuning in right now. You know, on the surface it says, okay, you're averaging a deal a month, but we know that's not the truth. That's just the culmination of everything.
right.
So walk me through, like, what is the Jenifer Salter experience you provide from a lead who very much on the surface today feels like, hey, I was just scrolling through my Facebook. I clicked on an ad thinking I was going to get an automated home value.
Right. Well, first of all, I apologize if you hear noise. I have demo going on in my house too.
Me too. I got demo going off in the background, so we're both guilty.
Yeah. First of all, I think there's a few nuggets to really think about. I love what Leon says, because really it's like people keep going and going and going. It's like that picture, if I could find it, of that miner that's digging, and he's so close to the gold, but he can't see it. And so I feel like realtors were the same way. We want that instant gratification, and real estate is just not that. So I would say that you've got to keep going and understand that there is a method to the madness. I will also reiterate, just like Marcus says, yep, 19 deals in 18 months actually, but 19 deals in 18 months. But that is just from StreetText. That's not my past clients. That's not my referrals. So it's a huge chunk of my business. Actually, it's the biggest part of my business. And I think there's a few things that I want the newbies to know because it's important. StreetText works without all the fancy automations. It does. It works better with that personalization. So don't feel overwhelmed like you have so much to do. You pick one thing or two things every single day. And by the end of a year or the end of 2 years, like where I am, your whole system is going to be customized and it's going to be improving. And that's what our insider group is great at, because I pick up nuggets every single week and then I go in and I tweak. So it's not you guys have to do everything all at once. You don't. And yes, and I've hit those walls too. There are months where it's flowing and I cannot control the leads, number one. But number two, everybody's ready to make a move. Nobody knew my name yesterday. And then all of a sudden, everyone comes. And that's the way it's always going to be. And what I found is the leads that I have started to forget about that have gone through the automation, those are the ones that will start to reach out. Those are the ones that when you make that impromptu contact and you give them a phone call or you shoot them a text or you send them a video, that's when they reach out and say, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's revisit this. And that's when you get your appointments. But that's what I would tell for people just starting.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, I'm just starting, Jennifer, and I'm overwhelmed. I mean, I'm a realtor that just got set up with your split test, and all of a sudden I'm seeing these like random automations going out, emails that saying, have you done any updates or renovations? No one's answering those. And they're being open because I can see they're being open to 50%. And then I'm getting some random text messages going out from a gal named Julie who says, just let me know if I can help. And they're like, who is this? The actual homeowners, because they're not getting the first text message. I am confused. What am I supposed to send them? Am I supposed to send them a home value? Am I supposed to ask questions first? You know, am I supposed to only go for the leads with phone numbers? What do I do with my emails? Like, there's a lot going on in my mind as a realtor trying to figure out StreetText. What is the most effective use of my time, and how do I simply get them to actually respond to me? Because from what I'm seeing, from what Marcus, Logan, Troy, Ira says, is that they think they're getting instant home value. So how do you
Yeah.
interrupt that process?
Yep, love that. So your only job is to provide that CMA, is to provide them what they clicked for. A lot of people get fixated that they're not opening that first email or they're not responding. I'm just going to let you know that for me personally, my personal experience is you're not going to get responses. In fact, there's very few that I get responses from on a regular basis. And I'm fine with that because number one, who are we to them? We're strangers. They don't know us. They don't owe us a response. Now, what we owe them is we owe them what we told them we were going to give them, which is the home report. So I do provide that. Then I have something to talk to them about. So once I see that they've opened it, because remember, 100% of my folks are going to open it, whether I have to resend that. That's the one I'm focused on, is my home CMA report. Once they get that and they open it, that's when I'm focused on me responding to them and saying, hey, did you get it? What did you think of it? What are your thoughts? Because people are going to be very quick to open up about if they think your report or your range is low, or if it's high, or if you can give them more information. But before that, people don't know you and there's no reason for them to chat with you. So that's why, in addition with setting out the CMA, your only other job is to try to reach out to them if they did not provide a phone number by Facebook. Find them on Facebook and make that connection. And if you can't, don't stress about it. You're not going to spend more than a few minutes on it because you have to get to those other leads. Your biggest concern should be if someone comes in at 3:30 and clicks on your ad, you should try to have something to them by 4 if you can. Now, if you're not home and you're out busy and they have a phone number, text them. Hey, I just want you to know that I know that Julie's been in touch. I'm working on it. I will be getting back to you. I just have to run the comps. That way they know that you're real.
I love that. So speedily, important. Speedy relationship, important. But from what I can tell, just by digging into a little bit of your program, I know, okay, first and foremost, here's the ad you're running. It's essentially a variation of, enter your address, receive your home value, what's your home really worth? And you have this cool little picture of this home, but you've also ran this little one in the past and done really well with it. And you've also ran the map in the past. But you don't spend a lot of time here in this because you're kind of you're way past that now. Like whether you have $1 or $2 extra, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're trying to go for the conversation. But what I'm curious about is I went a little bit deeper and started figuring out, okay, so you've gone in here and done some interesting things. I look at your automations and I know you're personally following up with every lead, but I can see that you went in there and kind of just did your own thing. Like most people have all their text messages sitting here down at the bottom, and you kind of just went at it a whole different perspective. You went at it in terms of like, boom, 1 minute later, a little emoji. This is Julie. I see you're interested in your home value. Jenifer Salter, our listing specialist, will be working on it. Is there anything Jenifer should know about your home that may affect value or work needed? And then you have a minute delay and an email sends out. And then you have a 30-minute delay and another text message sends out. And it's cool because in case I didn't get this first one, it really reiterates, hey, we'll be sending that requested home value to the email you provide. So be sure to look for it there or double check your junk folder because sometimes these things land in there. Let me know if anything can help. And then I see you kind of just then went into like this, about your home 22 hours later. And then another text message that really points back to that particular one. And then you have, should I add you to the scheduled text message 10 minutes later? And then you have this another one that goes out a day after that. And then a text message 2 hours after that. So like, as you were designing this, or let's just say reimagining the experiences, because this is all in addition, right, to everything else that you're doing personally. And you and I both know, right, it's a numbers game because I can see if you look at your automations and all these emails you created, like 46%, 39, and it goes down to 22, 25. So there's a, there's a percentage of those, and then it goes back up to month 3, like 36%. I don't know why, and so forth. So talk to me, like, there was only a percentage of these people that are going to be getting them. So what's the point of doing all this custom automations in conjunction to also your personal follow-up? Because from what I understand is that you're going to go in there and use BombBomb a little bit differently and create snippets. And the same emails that you have built here, you have built as snippets, which are the same email basically that you can kind of just plug and play in there, right? Boom, just like I do here. Write their name a little bit,
Mine
and
are
then you're going to go out.
my snippets
Yeah,
are
yeah.
different. Yeah.
Well, yours obviously they're not mine. Yeah, but
No,
so talk to me.
no, I mean, they're different than what I send out through
Oh,
Bomb.
they're different. They're snips, so
Yeah.
they're going to be even different from the actual auto emails.
Yeah. Yeah, because I want it to be different. I want them to know that there is someone writing to them. So I didn't want to copy the same type of email because I really want to avoid that whole feeling of it's computerized or I'm not a real person. I need them to know that I'm real. That's why to me, BombBomb is the nicest pairing with StreetText because that is what StreetText is. It's about the relationship. And you're right. Why do I continue the automation? In fact, my goal is to continue the automation out beyond the 9 months because when I was researching and when I was writing for the course, I wanted to really understand what days of the week were better, what subject lines got open, what are some tricks of the trade for getting seen. And that's why if you go to my automations, you're going to see that right away. It feels like I'm right on top of them. The first few days, it's like they're hearing from me 2 or 3 times a day. And then as it goes off, maybe after a week, it slows down. Maybe it's once every other day. And then as it's farther out, maybe it's once every week. So the study shows that just like you said, the speed to contact, right? So when a lead comes in, you're more likely to get engagement from them right away. So if you get that CMA out to them right away, that's great. You're going to increase your odds of getting that engagement with them. But what I do is I make sure they're going to get 2 texts from Julie that day 1, and they're getting 2 emails from me that first day. And that sounds like a lot, but when you space it out and when you look at the trends, you should blast them the first 3 days like that, because that is when your chances are the very highest of getting that engagement with them.
How many autoresponders are going out, and how many personal touches are going out in those first 3 days?
Sure. Um, so what I do is, I'm a little bit more flexible with, I don't time block like that, but what I do is when I'm home, you guys all know StreetText is my dashboard. It's open all the time. Like all the time on my computer is StreetText. So what I do is the automation does its thing. I don't think about it. Julie does her thing. I don't think about it. I make sure I do my CMA reports right away. That's the first thing that I'm doing personally. But then when I'm sitting in front of my computer and StreetText is open, I start at the end of my leads, and through the week I work through each page. And sometimes I get bored, right? So I'll go on page 45 of my leads and there's a phone number. Maybe I'll give Bob a call. I'll call Bob. He doesn't answer. I'll write a note. Maybe I'll send him a text. The next person, maybe I'll shoot them an email. I'll send them a quick video. Now, you guys could try, doing the same thing for everyone, but to me, I get too bored with that. So I try to make it authentic and I change it up. And it can be a 10-second video that I send by text or by email. And so that's what I do. In addition, with the automations, I'm systematically going through the end of my leads to the beginning. So it might take me 2 to 3 weeks to get through all of my leads. But guess what? Then 2 weeks later, when I start at the end again, I'm making another touch with those people naturally. So it plays off of, the automations, or maybe on Facebook, I'll find them and I'll look for, a post that they recently did, and I'll make sure to engage with the post, because then they're like, who is this congratulating me on my granddaughter's 15th birthday? Oh, that's right, it's that realtor lady. And then sometimes they'll talk to you.
Okay, and so as far as the actual CMA is concerned, you have 2 different circles of people: those who like to give a huge broad variation, and those who do something like this. And I don't know if you still do this, because I know you're always changing up. You're like me, basically. You and I are a lot alike, because we like to.
Mine looks a little different now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's different now, but we experiment a lot. We like to, because we like to see if something it works better than the other one. We don't get it gets old sometimes. We need to just change it up, right?
That's right.
But So you created a template through BombBomb.
Mhm.
Now, do you still use their templates?
I do. I use their templates exclusively, and I use the ones that are called RPR Business. Some of them have 3 buttons, some of them have 5 buttons. And by buttons, I don't know if you can hover over it, but where it says check out my reviews, Facebook business page, my website, it allows people to click. They are links, but rather than being spammed because you're showing a link, I feel like it helps the deliver rate for them to be inside of a button like that. Now, I'm not a software person, so don't ask me the statistics. I just find that I haven't had people telling me that they're not getting my emails. So I
Awesome.
send them to my reviews, I send them to my website.
Love it. And if they go to this page, I love
Mhm.
the pin post with the stars, right? Consistent brand, stars.
And
Um,
we just got that from Stephen Whiting. He shared, or Jonathan, they shared the template for us that we can use in Canva with the stars. So everybody in Street Text Insider has access to that.
and it's cool too, because also it automatically populates your messenger with,
Right.
can I speak to the agents? So a lot, like, super smart. So you think, okay, so do you still put in the picture of their home in
I
that?
do. I
Oh,
do.
I like
Yeah.
that. That's big. And so the key, like you said, is not like your automations are just doing and they're constantly reinforcing your personality, and that there's like that element going out. But this is the email that you're looking to get open. This is the email that you're looking to get played. This is the
100%.
email that you're
Yes.
looking for and measuring. And this is also the email that when you send out, whether you're sending it out from BombBomb, and we're going to learn from Shane tomorrow, which I'm excited for. He's going to be coming and talk about the 10,000 personal videos he sent. So be
Mhm.
there. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about your account. But what I like about this is that you're going to go into the mode of, okay, here's my tracking, and I love tracking, because you can filter by opens, by plays, by clicks, by sends, by likes. There's all these different cool things that we can start tracking. So you can plug their little email right there and see what's happening,
That's right.
right? So that's going to be your key, is you're not going to settle until that's open. And that's why you have 90% success rates with personal email opens.
Mhm. And that's why too, for address only, you guys ask all the time, what do you do? I try to avoid sending mailers, but that's just me personally. A lot of people like Jonky is very successful with sending out mailers. So if you're like me though, and that would be a last option, what I do first is I find them on Facebook and I send them my video. You just send the link through BombBomb and it shows them a preview. They'll see a picture of their house and they'll be like, wow, okay, here it is. And they can open it right from there. You don't need the email address to connect with them and supply the CMA without printing anything or paying for postage.
Brilliant. But what if I can't find them on Facebook?
Then don't stress about it. Don't stress about it. You can look on LinkedIn if you want, but I hear you guys don't want to stalk. We are part of Facebook and Instagram, right? So stick to those social media venues. And if you don't feel comfortable, then shoot them out a great mailer. You can do a one page, you could do a QR code, you can do a printable with their house picture and just give them the range just like they asked and call it a day. No worries, no stress.
100%. And you can do a little bit personal touch with those leads that you're making like, let's just say you had a lead you had a great conversation with. They said, hey, we're out in the future, but we'll keep you in mind. And you just want to leave that little personal touch. So maybe that personal touch does, include that waxed envelope stamp with a little
Right.
with a little coffee card that said, hey, thank you so much again for this opportunity. Whenever that time comes in the future, we're a cup of coffee away.
Love it.
I'm just putting it out there. Okay, so what else am I missing here? Because I love it. I already love it. And so walk me through a little bit of, I don't have to play this, but
Mhm.
walk me through, what are they getting in this 2 minutes of
Okay.
this video? And then let's just say I'm somebody who's like, I'm analytical, I don't want to watch your video, I'm just going to read everything here. Is it going to align?
Yes. Yes, it does. And since this you were saying, because I do change it up all the time, I got rid of the internet's best guess and I got rid of the comps. I thought, the comps will be great when we meet. And so I'm testing it out where I'm just giving my range and leaving the comps for us to meet in person. But my video, literally, like I have the big app, right? And it says, hi Barbara, or whatever the address is. And then I'll say, I'm Jennifer with eXp Realty. Thank you so much for requesting your home CMA report. And then I tell them based on the comps, based on what I saw, and I try to remember something about their house that maybe they would know, oh, she did look at my house. So I might say something like, beautiful archways inside by your dining room. Love it. I saw that in the old listing. And I love how you have a flat backyard that's on more than a quarter acre. So with your home being about 2,500 square feet, based on the comps within half a mile, this is what I've seen. And if your home's in good condition, here is the probable selling or probable position that I would put it on the market for. And I give them, position. I forgot who said that, but man, he was great. And I try to do no more than a $10,000 range. From there, I say, thank you so much. By the way, please check your Facebook message request folder. You might see a message from me. I'd love for you to get a chance to know me and my business a little bit better. And I hope we chat real soon. Let me know what you think. And that's it.
That's it. So, okay. So you send that.
Yeah.
And what kind of happens now between the send and your next follow-up personally?
Well, I'm waiting for them to open it. So 24 hours go by, like I said, my StreetText is always open and my bomb's open when I'm on my computer. And so twice a day, maybe I'll go to my bomb, look at my dashboard and scroll through, and I'm looking to see if there's anything unopened. And whatever's unopened, if it's been 24 hours, I copy and paste and send it again and just change the subject line. I'm going to make sure that gets open. Those that have opened it and they like looked at it, but they haven't responded, I send them a snippet called next steps. And the next steps basically said, so glad that you were able to view your CMA report. Would love to know what your next steps are. Would you like to schedule an appointment? Would you like to schedule a phone call? Or if you still have 6 or more months before you're moving, let's go ahead and set you up with a monthly market report. And some of them you'll hear from, some you won't. That's okay. Then I'll just keep in touch, and eventually nurturing and fostering will develop that rapport,
So when you're saying like you go into your bomb and you gotta start looking into here, do you look at the emails here, who's opening? How do you filter this?
I just scroll.
You just start scrolling.
For me, that's easiest. If you want to get technical with it, you can. See, to me, I'm like, okay, look, all yours are open. And I'm going to stop when I see something not open.
I might go, who's playing? I want to know who's playing my videos.
Sure.
And oh, this person 88%. I wonder why they stopped.
They got bored with you, Marcus. They were like,
oh, wait, I need to change it up then because I need 100% time. So
they're like,
cool.
I hear it. I hear him.
I got him. He says it all the time. Personalize it. Okay, so so you're gonna go between this and maybe here, and you kind of use those back and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, do you shoot, like I've actually talked to some people and I'm wondering if this is a good idea. What do you think of the idea of, maybe for people that haven't really locked and loaded with bomb or any of the video stuff yet, part of the way of getting them to get something back? What about just asking if this is like, can I verify your email and address or something along the nature? Hey, just wanted to verify this is the right address. I know some people put it wrong, and the right email to send back to home value to.
I think it's great. I personally haven't gotten a lot of response from that. And again, I really feel that people, they're bombarded all day with strangers. I mean, like for instance, LinkedIn. I'm glad people like LinkedIn. I don't get it. Every email I get's a solicitation. I'm over it. So I think people feel that way too. When they see something in their inbox and they don't know who you are, they think solicitor. They think someone is just trying to solicit me. So for me, I don't sweat that. They're not going to respond to you. I'm going to give them what they asked for. That video is key because they get to meet me. They get to see who I am. And they don't have to respond, but they are going to open. And I'm going to be persistent, not only with my automated funnel, but also with my personal touches. And it's just part of my day. So in addition to StreetText, if you're going to open houses, you're going to do your thing. But when you are at home at your office or at your office, StreetText should be what you do. This should be your setup. This is where all your leads will funnel through. See, you have a CRM with StreetText, whether they made it like that or not. You have your funnels going out, you have your contact information, you can enter your notes. This should be your CRM in addition with Facebook. Just change your mindset with what you're trying to do. But this is what I use, and I make random touches. And you know what? Sometimes I'm so scattered, I don't feel like going to the last lead. So what I'll do is I'll pick a page, I'll pick a person, and then I'll contact them and leave a note. I'll leave a note that I contacted them on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And that's it. It doesn't all have to be so regimented. You can have fun with it.
Yeah. Very chatty, but not selling for a few years.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't go through my notes because some notes are vivid.
That's hilarious. Sent. So you'll
Yeah.
have a lot. I mean, I can go back 3 pages in.
If you go to
and
the last page, you'll see, because I've continued, like low inventory, that email's gotten a lot of response. I sent a snippet and literally it was like, now's the time to sell. And I did it on my phone. And the video's like, I just got out of a meeting. We are at historical low inventory levels. If you were considering selling your home, now is the time. Please reach out to me. I'll redo your complimentary CMA report so you can see how much your values increased since the last time we talked. And I've had a lot of people talked. Is that a word, Marcus? Or is it spoken? Is talked a word? I was a teacher. I should know this. Talked.
You know what? I'm not but my wife would be the one to she'll correct me.
Well,
So
somebody will chime in and let us know.
someone chime in and tell us the correct grammar. But so here's like, spoke to her. She wants to connect in October, bathroom remodel right now, and that was of June 25th, 2019. So you got leads in here like way back in the day.
Yeah.
And so like I think a lot of people, so when they want success, they want success fast.
Yeah.
So what realistically, like how do I frame in for people that are looking to consider StreetText? What should their mentality be for when success really truly starts coming into this model? And what was yours like in the first month, 3 months, 6 months, year? When did it finally start kind of taking off for you?
Well, you told me I got lucky. I got a listing off of the free trial. So that kind of set me into the mindset.
Like every day.
Yeah, every day. That's right. But you know what? There are ebbs and flows. Like I told you, since the election, it's been a little bit slower, not with leads, but with leads that want me in their house to go ahead and list. And that's okay, because then what happens is when everything's quiet, then all of a sudden all the leads pour in that have been seeing you, and they see you on Facebook because now they're connected with you on Facebook. They're getting your automations, they're getting your personal touches. And then they think, wow, Jenifer's really kept in touch with me. Let me go ahead and reach out. I just have a question. Or maybe their neighbor's looking to sell. You'll see they do start to reach out. So what I would say is, first of all, look at the value, because when it comes to leads and automations and all that, you guys all know as realtors, there's nothing that is this quality for the price you get. I mean, basically you're getting an entire platform, you're getting your ads made, and you're not having to deal with the nightmare that Facebook has become with making your own ads. Honestly, unless you are a rocket scientist, I don't know how anyone could do it anymore. And the quality of leads to me is fantastic, because even if you're converting at 1%, if you still look at the standards, what's out there, it's much better, and you're not spending a lot of money. And I got to be honest, I could be more aggressive with my ads. You just saw that I have 2 ads running only because we just set it up today, Stephen, with the new iOS change. But I typically only run 1 ad. I run 1 ad for maybe $9 to $11 a day, just depending on what I see is trending in my area. That's it. But I know a lot of you are spending more and you're running multiple ads. That's fine. I mean, you can run multiple ads, but if you don't have the time to sit and personalize and, send things, then maybe 1 ad's plenty. I'd rather have 5 leads that I can really nurture than have 20 ads that are just going to get, half touches because I'm not able to personally look at them. So if you're a busy agent, 1 ad is fine. You don't need more than that. You need a good ad that's performing. And it depends on your area. Like in North Carolina, I'm telling you, 6 months ago, my ads were running at like $1.50, $1.75. Right now, a good ad that's, I'm very satisfied with is running at about $5.25. You're going to have ebbs and flow. Now, if you have one that's really slow or you're seeing that it's all emails and no full leads, that's when you split test and you start new ones and you have fun in Canva and you make a great solid picture. Now, I do want to say I'd like to hear from the other person in the StreetText Insider group who just made that cool picture with the red prices that come out of the houses, because I ran that ad and what I found was the same thing when I ran the last ad like that. I feel like the zoomed in pictures of the houses perform better than that huge overview. That's just in my area though. Every time I run an ad that has like it's a drone version of all the homes, I don't see as much as if I zoom in on just a few homes. Just a side note, but
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea of A/B testing and split testing,
right.
right? I find with ad performance, everyone's so shocked that the map is still like the best option to go back to when in doubt. Because I always say, listen, the audience you're getting in front of has to be inclusive. You can't discriminate at all. So if
Right.
the whole idea behind the map is that you zoom out 15 miles or maybe a little bit more, because then anybody who sees that image could say that's me. Where
Right.
any other ad image, even a home itself, could, whether you know it or not, that person it's not like that style home that you got right there, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So all of a sudden they're not going to click on it. But a map is something that everybody uses daily on their car and when they navigate. Um,
Yeah.
so it doesn't feel and look like a realtor ad, which is why I think that works so well. And the
Right.
experience from the ad image into the first landing page. Now, something that I think we should highlight real quick, because a lot of people are going to be like, what's this new thing that you just did? Well, the Apple iOS updates is coming out, and no one really knows it. We've talked about it, but some people just don't listen. So all of a sudden, every single one of their ads is going to drop, including this one right here, which has your StreetText link in it. So what you got to know is that here's this StreetText ad. It says StreetText.com. Anybody who has this set up right now, there's a StreetText landing page, right? So add StreetText down there, landing page StreetText. Apple iOS is going to shut that entire conversion pixel down. The conversion pixel, by the way, is any ad that has conversion next to it in the funnel templates. So you could say, well, whatever, I'm running listing ads or buyer ads, but most of you are running some sort of conversion funnel. And anybody who's running the What's Your Home Really Worth funnel, or if someone were to buy your home, so you can see like we've actually now separated it down into conversion templates. All these ads will drop. And the moment they drop, all of you that are doing what Jenifer does and getting your own custom URL, JeniferSellsHomes.com. If you look at her landing page, JeniferSellsHomes.com, that's going to be a huge shift, because now you can now use this link in your mailers, in your email signatures, in any sort of your own personal marketing or sharing on Facebook in messenger links. Like the perfect thing is you go to your ad. I like to tell people this because I often forget. You go to your ad and you see who's liking it and who's commenting on it, and share that link with them. Get them back into the funnel, because they never maybe got into the funnel. You're like, go ahead, Jenifer.
I was just thinking that with this change, we really are at an advantage, because now that Stephen will be contacting everyone one by one to get all this set up. That's what we just did today. But I'll tell you what, that means that the person who's clicking on your ad has opted in already. So I think the leads that are going to come to us are going to be even more hot leads. And number two, I think we're in an advantage because everyone else that's running their own Facebook ads, they are going to have to figure this out, and we already have it going for us. So I think we're going to be in optimal period in the next few months, because we're going to be ahead of the curve and we're going to have this change already figured out. But yeah, people are already going to have to opt in before they click on your ad, which is great. That means that they really want to be there.
Your brand, there's no confusion. It doesn't even like, there's no StreetText, like what StreetText? It's like,
Yeah.
this is Jenifer Salter's ad. This is Jenifer Salter's process. This is Jenifer Salter's email coming at me, text messages coming at me. No one would even know that you use StreetText. Not that it matters, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. So for anybody that's out there running a trial or thinking StreetText or currently StreetText, you're going to have your own private URL. That's going to, what I foresee is going to happen is that when Apple iOS and Facebook finally decide that those ads shut down, this is going to be a tremendous advantage for anyone that picks back up, has their URL, and split test again,
Mhm.
because the entire world will be affected, and whoever's not prepared will now have to shift into traffic posts, page posts, lead ads, which you can't actually get addresses with anymore.
Right.
So your only stellar process really is defined with success is this conversion template, and you're going to have a large percentage of your competition that's going to go down.
Right.
And with that being said, now you're going to be in the market with the right best practice custom URL. Boom. I think you're going to get like more leads. I mean, personally, more qualified leads.
Well, I already got a lead. I did my new iOS ad, and within minutes, I was texting with Steven and I said, "Oh my gosh, I got my first lead." That's a good sign.
Okay. So lots and lots of gold here. I mean, we can talk about almost anything you've done. Like I love, so you got people like new roof within the last 6 months, full house generated within past year, not looking to sell, but curious of market value. Okay.
Curious enough to tell me everything they've done with their house.
Right. And so are you going to call and just be like, I've been telling people to just literally pick up the phone with these guys and say, hey, Jenifer here from EXP. I know you just clicked on my ad thinking you were getting an automated home value. Most people do. And I totally get it. You're probably just curious, but I'm going to actually do a custom market analysis, way better than anything that would be an automatic, best guess or internet algorithm. And then you kind of explain a little bit why you're doing it that way.
Yep, exactly.
And then you say, hey, before I do, can I ask you a quick questions? I find, just curious could be a lot of different things. Just curious could mean, hey, we want to know our equity. Just curious could mean, hey, we're thinking about downsizing, upgrading. We're thinking about, a couple years from now, taking off from NC and moving to Florida. I don't know, right? So how do you get them to talk about just curious?
Well, I mean, I think it's a matter of getting them engaged. And I think people who really aren't wanting to sell, a lot of times they tell you right away, no, I'm not looking to sell. Well, that's okay. No problem. And then once you tell them it's no problem and they realize, okay, well, she's still going to send me something, then I think they're more open to talk about, well, actually, this is why, I reached out. They have to let their guard down. And I think that's okay. You know, for instance, I just had a lead that come in and it said refinance. Now, I don't know about you guys, refinances scare me when they put that, because the lender is going to get an appraiser to go out there. Not that they pick one, but they send an appraiser. And appraised value for a refinance is different than appraisal for a sale. And I always find that they come in a little bit more conservative and a little bit, there's less competition. So what I tell them is, listen, I am not an appraiser, so I'm not going to send you something for your refinance, but let me just send you what it could sell for. And then I had this lady and she says, okay, well, sure, you can do that. And she says, well, yeah, we're looking to refinance though. I said, that's no problem. There's lenders that I know and work with. Do you want one of their numbers? Because I mean, they're happy to help you and they're great. And she said, absolutely. So not only did my lender get a referral, which in turn, it helps us because later we might get a referral from the lender. But in addition, we opened up our conversation and I talked to this lady for about 30 minutes on the phone. So much so, she sent me pictures of every room of her house that she redesigned. So I sent her videos of my demo. Now, why? I mean, maybe we're just going to be Facebook friends, but my thought is not only will she remember me, but now we're Facebook buddies. And I told her, listen, if you have friends that want the same thing, tell them to reach out. It's free. And she's like, I will. I know some of my friends will want that. Well, perfect. Okay. So it's just about being that community resource where people will remember you and they'll like you. And even if it's not today, you have to really get in there because people will forget you. I mean, they just will.
I love it. And speaking of why you Facebook friend people, I think it's so clear that, I don't think a lot of people truly know this yet, but when I go into you, right, and that you're part of my favorites, your StreetText client, right, I have all these little lists. And people don't know I can put you in like 7 lists if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And what the cool news is, you friend someone ideally, because then also if you go back my homepage and you go to your friends list, and of course you got to here, there we are. And you go to your friends list and you go into this like, oh, here's my StreetText clients. Here's, think of it for you. Here's my seller leads. Here's people I've actually had conversations with. And you're like, oh, it was Leon's birthday and I got a comment here, and here's Ira and Jennifer, and right. And then I'm like, oh, I got 200 in here. And now I'm gonna like see all, and I want to go through, and it's like it puts a face to these people. It allows you to allows you not only revisit who you have in these lists, and that you can post directly to these lists. So I can say, I'm only going to post to these 200 people.
Right.
But also, if I'm like, well, I don't remember this person, and I'm just going to hover over my little mouse here and see what our relationship is, and put it back on the list and see what the last message we had together on Messenger, because that in itself is powerful when you consider, oh, he said thank you, right? And you kind of go back and see what you spoke, and then all of a sudden you understand that your entire Facebook has become a CRM.
Yes.
And now you can see when they're home, and you can put all your information in one place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And sorry, it's definitely a mindset, because people ask me all the time coming to EXP, they're like, how do you like KV Core? I'm like, what does it matter? Like, okay, it's fine. I mean, fine. It's great, but you don't need it. So I think people's heads just exploded when you were talking about that. And so again, I'm going to say, you don't need that day one to be successful. Every day, we're going to pick something that you can do to make your life a little bit easier. I mean, I have so many friends, and I still, when I connect with someone, I make sure that I've added them to a friend list, because I had friends way before I started organizing my friend list. So I do that by sending birthday messages every day. Every day I send a birthday message. I make sure to attach my Facebook business page. That way I get new likes. I engage with everybody. I send them a heartfelt message with lots of emojis, and I make sure that I sort them in a different friend group. And like you said, Marcus, at the end of the year, I will have touched everyone in my Facebook.
I love it. I've been doing it with audio messages. Sometimes I'll sing happy birthday.
Oh, I love that.
Or video, but audio is sometimes easier. And I like that. And then I share my calendar links, so they know they always have access to me.
Right.
So you can always drop a little bit of value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but I'm new, Jennifer, and I don't, like, you guys have talked about so much, and how do I even begin? What do I learn? What should I focus on going to that's free? And what options are there to actually, copy your process?
Okay, number one, when you first start your trial, you're going to book a demo with your coach. Okay, you're going to book a demo with your coach. Number two, once you have begun, there is a free Academy StreetText course. It's completely free, and it will go step by step, making sure you're set up and can begin with the basic operations. And then you're going to give yourself a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you're going to make sure to join in the StreetText Insider group on Facebook. You're going to participate. You're going to ask questions. You're going to attend the weekly Wednesday masterminds. And then from there, once you get a little bit more savvy, then you can take my course. You can take Jonky's course. You could take Donna Swansea's course. You can take the Ad Tweaks course. But for right now, the first step is to book a demo with your coach. And then number two, the free StreetText Academy conversion course. It'll help you. That's what I would say.
That's great. So what Jenifer just said, and I'm going to just kind of add on to it. So every coach has their own calendar. And so the way I do it is I actually tell everybody, watch the demo, or I can send you a recording. YouTube. We got everything on YouTube. Number two, book into an ad performance review 24 to 48 hours later. So we're not wasting any Facebook dollars. We're getting your ad dialed in, and then we'll go over some conversion training. Number three, specifically what Jenifer said as well, check out the free, Academy course. So much gold, and Troy's actually working on making it even better. He's going to do a whole thinkific, which is going to be like way more clear and concise. And then with that being said, you've got the StreetText Mastermind on Wednesdays, lead conversion workshops on Tuesdays, plus all these other cool things, right? Now we're setting up custom domains, custom ads class with Logan, if anybody ever wants to kind of develop new cool ads, reviewing your ads and learning about all the different funnels that we have, because there's like 35 of them with Steve. And then, oh, don't forget, so this group, by the way, it's almost hard to figure out where to start. So I tell people like topics. Check out all the topics. Like if you want to go into topics, boom, let's go to video examples right there. It's our fourth one down, or address onlys, or, cool, right? But what else? You could go straight into, I want to just learn from Jenifer Salter. I'm gonna go look into this little magnifying glass and type in Jenifer Salter. Jenifer Salter. Wow, look at all these posts by Jenifer Salter and everybody talking about Jenifer Salter. I want to look by posts that I've seen or most recent. Let's see what the most recent Jenifer Salter's. I'm going to go down. Oh, there's one with 23 comments. Must have been this new snippet thing that you created about the mastermind. See, there's a lot of free gold nuggets in here where people are like 23 comments in there.
Mhm.
And oh, what's this little thing? Oh, it's your course. What's this course going to do for people? Why should I start with this course instead of just trying to figure out for myself, Jenifer?
Say that again. I'm so sorry. I was getting a message, and guess what? I got another StreetText lead from our new iOS ad.
Hey, you better respond right away. Before I let you go to actually convert that lead into a conversation, not an appointment, but a conversation.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about this course and who would it benefit?
Yeah, so I think this course will help anyone, but because I am a single agent, meaning I'm not part of a team, I think it'll be great for the single agent who's doing a lot of it themselves and doing their own conversions themselves, and doesn't have a lot of hands helping them out, because a lot of my course is going to give you not only scripts, but it's going to walk you through how to respond. It's going to give you the day-to-day responses that I send. And again, remember, this is all updated. So as I change things, my course changes. This is not an encyclopedia. This is a living course. It also will give you tons of video examples of what I send out, what I say. It's going to break down how I time block, because I don't time block, but I have my own style. And every week I'm fitting in education, because as realtors we have to always stay current, and it figures in your social media, where not only are you doing it for business, but you're engaging with your CRM. Facebook is a CRM, but then it'll go through your follow-up, how you follow up, how you engage with your automated funnel, and how you follow up with your personal touches. It'll go step by step and give examples for everything.
I was gonna say that's not letting me because I have to go through each one first. I like that. It's making it where I can't cheat. I gotta go
Right.
through. So whoever watches this entire thing, whether right now live or later on demand, we got a little goodie for you. Okay. But that goodie, you have to PM me personally for it. And Jenifer Salter and I we're gonna decide what that goodie is.
Perfect.
Perfect. So if you want that goodie, you better PM me. I think that's good. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Go after those leads you just got.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I was very caught up in the moment, but you see, look, and they had to opt in. That's why they're such a hot lead, because they had to opt in.
They have to opt in. Last second words of wisdom, like a Leon Harper type of word of wisdom.
Oh gosh, no, Leon's the bomb with that. I can't believe we just did that. I don't know. All I'm thinking about is Yoda. My son says like Yoda quotes. I don't know. What would Yoda say?
Well, I would say come to the mastermind on Wednesday, meet the community, experience people like Jen and Leon and Wendy and people that have been at it for years. That's where the gold nuggets are, right? That's
And
where we
take a breath, right? Get your ad set up and take a breath. It doesn't have to be done all in one day. I was getting leads and listing appointments before I even knew what was happening. So it's okay. We're here to help.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jenifer. Appreciate it.
Bye. Have a good one.
You too. Talk soon.